So it looks like Britney Spears is taking back her forgiveness from Justin Timberlake after he said at a recent concert that he's not apologizing to anybody. Well, now she's saying, well, you know what? You can go back and go cry to your mother again. Nicki Minaj is accusing Megan Thee Stallion of trying to have her, quote, Rihanna moment. And we have an update in regards to Diddy's efforts to expose the third woman that apparently is some sort of public figure that he's trying to get named in her lawsuit against him. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So we were just talking about Britney Spears and her glowing review of Justin Timberlake's song Selfish. We also told you that we liked the song. And I like the fact that Britney was like, you know, I like the song. I know I said a lot of things in my book. I want to apologize to the people that it may have offended or hurt. Well, now she's taking that apology back. And honestly, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Justin, just when we were about to maybe say you can come and drop off some drinks at the cookout, no, don't come over.
Move, your dirty blood clot, your bad-minded witch, your wicked demonic serpent, you.
So, our friends over at Page 6 write this. Britney Spears issued a scathing response to her ex-boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, after he appeared to shade her. So, Britney wrote on her Instagram, someone told me someone was talking ish about me on the streets. Not on the streets. She says, do you want to bring it to the court? Or will you go home crying to your mom like you did last time? Then she added, I'm not sorry. So on Wednesday night, Justin Timberlake, which a lot of people told me, Kemp, do you want to go? But no, I don't care if it's free. So on Wednesday night, Timberlake, who's 43, seemingly took a shot at his former flame, but also probably Janet Jackson. Didn't he issue an apology to Janet too? Just saying. During a concert in New York City, he says, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely effing nobody. The NSYNC alum told the audience before singing his 2002 hit, Cry Me a River, which is, a lot of people have said, is about Britney Spears apparently cheating on him. But still, to say such a blanket statement, I'm going to take it as any apology that you have issued in the last couple of years, the one to Janet Jackson, the one to Britney Spears, I'm going to take that as, oh, you're like, F you. But the fact that because Britney didn't have to do this. Britney's sitting fine. People wanted to stream her song Selfish to negate his song, one that she put out years ago. So the fact that he decided on his birthday at this free concert to promote his new project, this was dumb. Justin, you already have had a very difficult time. I don't know if the people in your team or the fans got you a little hyped that, Justin's back. I don't know if that went to your head, but this was the wrong road. Wrong road. Team Britney Spears at this point. You know, we're team ourselves. But in this particular instance, look, matter of fact, not even just Team Spears, Team Janet Jackson. It's about to be Janet Jackson Appreciation Day, you know, the Super Bowl. Anyways, moving along. Speaking of tiring, you know, I talked a little bit about this on our podcast. So if you missed that episode where we talk about the Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef that was incited after Megan Thee Stallion released this diss track about a bunch of people. But there was a line specifically about Nicki Minaj. Maybe, look, we'll just say maybe. She didn't name Nicki Minaj. She named Megan's Law. For those that don't know what Megan's Law is, it's about ex-offenders, like Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj's husband. And the family of Megan, the family behind Megan's Law, came out and said that they didn't appreciate Megan including this law in her lyrics, and they were considering legal action. Please do not consider legal action. This is hip hop. If anything, it brought a lot of attention to people that didn't even know what Megan's Law is. All right? So I thought that Nicki Minaj had been done with this. She has released her own diss track called Bigfoot. A lot of even her own fans were sort of like, it's basically everything you've been ranting and raving over the last 72 hours on social media. But look, her fans are going to fan because the song still has done very well. But I just felt like, Nicki, why release a diss track over one line someone said about you when the entire song is about her ex, about the internet? It just felt like, sidebar, the song Hiss is doing very well and possibly could be number one on Billboard, making it Megan Thee Stallion's first solo number one hit. Damn. Like, part of me's like, go ahead, Megan, go ahead. All right? But Nicki's not done. Our friends over at Rolling Stone write this. In a conversation at least 40 minutes, Minaj, because she's been talking on the internet, for those that don't realize where this is coming from, Minaj speculated that Megan's management company, Roc Nation, which is owned by Jay-Z, who's the husband to Beyonce, has launched a smear campaign against her. Dissected the diss track Megan's estranged ex, Partisan Fontaine, released in November, and accused Megan of seeking sympathy and controversy to bolster her career. No, Nicki, you have done that. You're probably helping drive his. Not probably, you have. So she says, it's so obvious. She wanted a Rihanna moment so bad. When another participant in the space asked Minaj to specify which Rihanna moment and what she meant by it, she responded, you go on Google. Before continuing, the probable allusion the rapper could have been making is to Chris Brown's 2000 incident with Rihanna, the start of more than a decade of allegations and reports of violence and harassment for Brown, who has since said free Tory Lanez in one of those streaming situations. Rihanna, as you know, discussed the incident and its aftermath in an intense interview with ABC News months after it. Somewhat similarly, in April of 2022, Megan discussed being shot by rapper Tory Lanez nearly 2 years prior with Gayle King on CBS Morning. Lanez was convicted, as you know, for first degree assault with a firearm, discharge a firearm with gross negligence, and having a concealed firearm in a vehicle, and is currently serving a 10-year sentence in prison. So Nicki continued on this spaces saying Rihanna never would milk. You could tell she couldn't wait to try to move on with her life, and then people even bashed her for not milking it. Rihanna knows she was a superstar with or without controversy. She's loved with or without controversy. Sympathy. As you also know, people have said that Megan was also taking shots at Rihanna in the song in regards to making R. Kelly famous from wearing a t-shirt with R. Kelly. I don't remember the line. You guys know. But I felt like that was a reach because it's sort of like, how is this Rihanna? Just because Rihanna had an R. Kelly or she took a picture with R. Kelly. I felt like that was a reach. But of course, Rihanna has not responded. The only person that has been responding is Nicki Minaj. Like multiple responses and an entire song, helping to drive his to be number one on Apple iTunes Music right now. So Rolling Stone continues, they said Minaj also implied that Megan Thee Stallion can't succeed without provoking her, though a lone bar on her new song Hiss seems to be the most directly Megan has engaged with Minaj since their Hot Girl Summer collaboration in 2019. On her latest record, filled with charged bars at myriad unnamed foes, Megan raps, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law," likely referencing Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty's status as a convicted ex-offender. I say that without saying the full words. Since the song's release in January 26, Minaj has incessantly talked and posted about or around Megan, engaged with her frenzied fan base, and released a diss track of her own called Bigfoot, focused entirely on Megan. Saying, "I understand that it's confusing and chaotic and they don't understand my personality," Minaj said on Space, as many have condemned the pioneering rapper as tarnishing her own legacy.
"You're gonna go down in history now as a sore loser, as opposed to going down in history as the queen. Because if you can't beat them, join them. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. You don't have to feel the need to put somebody down and make yourself feel better. I see people do things all the time that I think, that remind me of Nicki Minaj. But it's like, do you, honey? It's like we all take from each other. There's nothing. That's why I did a record on Pink Friday called Here I Am, and as I said, like, nothing is new under the sun. When you see Gaga, you see Madonna. But Madonna never hated on Gaga. Why in the Black communities we gotta hate on each other instead of saying, thank you for showing me love, thank you for, keeping my name alive. The same way she opened doors for me, I'm now opening doors for her. Because, do you understand what I'm saying? Because nobody was even playing your music and you damn sure couldn't get an interview to save your life. But now you getting interviews, and every time you do an interview, they asking you about Nicki Minaj. So it's like we help each other. That's the point. We're helping each other. But if you are bitter, get a life.
When people see me tweeting, they think I'm tweeting like this. No, I'm actually rolling on the floor laughing most of the time. If you've heard any of the rants and raves, some of which we've played on our podcast, then you probably know that that's not true. That's not true. But we're going to move on to someone else in hip hop. As you know, we've been covering and following this Diddy saga, the downfall of Diddy, as we've been calling it, for several months now, since Cassie's bombshell 35-page with a trigger warning lawsuit where she had some damning claims against Diddy. Less than 24 hours later, Diddy settled that lawsuit allegedly for 9 figures. So now we also reported to you that there were multiple lawsuits. There was a second lawsuit and then a third lawsuit where a woman claims that both Diddy and his then president of Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment, Harv Pierre, flew her on a private plane to New York City and then SA'd her in a studio back when she was only 17 years old. But the last report that we reported to you that Diddy's legal team and Harv Pierre's legal team wanted this person not to be able to be anonymous in this lawsuit. We also found out that this person was a public figure. And we were like, wait a minute, so who is this person? So they're fighting to expose this woman in the lawsuit. Well, according to Radar Online, they said a woman who sued Diddy over an alleged essay in 2003 pleaded with a New York judge to not order her to reveal her name. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, the accuser, who filed her lawsuit in December of 2023 using the synonym Jane Doe, said Diddy only wants her name out there so that he can, quote, publicly malign her because she is the victim of a completely separate set of wrongdoings that occurred nearly 2 decades after the events underlying to this action. Doe was the third woman to come forward, as you know, after Diddy settled the bombshell lawsuit from his then ex-girlfriend, Cassie. In the lawsuit, Doe claimed Diddy, along with his ex-Bad Boy president, Harv Pierre, and a third man, took turns SAing her back in 2003. Doe says that she was in the 11th grade at the time. She said that she met Pierre and the third man at a Detroit club. She said that they took a private jet to meet Diddy. On the jet, Doe claimed that she was SA'd by Pierre and the other man. Before they left the private plane, Mr. Pierre smoked in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also SA'd Miss Doe by forcing her to give him oral. Doe says that they then met up with Diddy at a recording studio. She claimed the men piled her with drugs and alcohol. She said that Diddy, Pierre, and the other man then SA'd her. The lawsuit is demanding unspecified damages. So, as you know, after a fourth lawsuit was filed, Diddy released a statement saying, "Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and my truth." Earlier this month, as you know, Radar Online reported that Diddy asked the court to not allow Jane Doe to proceed anonymously. Diddy said the accuser had a public-facing identity. In her new motion, Doe says Diddy's motion lacked any valid reason to reveal her name. Her motion read, piggybacking on their plan to use Doe's status as a victim of totally unrelated wrongdoing to drag her through the mud in this case. Defendants suggest that if Doe's name is publicly disclosed, relevant witnesses might start coming out of the woodwork with testimony and evidence that would shatter her claims. This is nothing more than a speculative pipe dream that is highly unlikely to materialize. A judge has yet to rule. The motion was first reported by journalist Megan Thee. I think we should need to protect victims. If she does not, especially if she is a public figure, and public figure, we have to keep in mind, doesn't necessarily mean celebrity. It could mean just that she is a person that is known publicly. That could be a whole variety of different people at different levels. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone that is famous that we necessarily know. I think that a judge hopefully will uphold this, but of course we always love it when our community of attorneys will weigh in. I don't see the reason why this needs to be public information. It needs to play out in the legal system, and definitely we need to make sure that we're protecting any victims in these particular situations, because we already see how the internet reacts when victims come out years later. Guys, as always, we wanted to do a quick mashup of some hot topics that we haven't been able to get to the last couple of days. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on what Britney Spears has to say about Justin Timberlake, your thoughts on Nicki Minaj and the Megan Thee Stallion saga that continues, and your thoughts on Diddy trying to have this public-facing identity identified in this lawsuit. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter.